Alright, so here we go. My name's Chris. This is my channel, I Am Toys. Hit that 4K option on your browser now before I forget to tell you, so you get to see this figure in exactly the way I'm seeing it, essentially, in the lighting and so on and so forth. If you want to see a high resolution picture, I have one of these up on my Instagram right now. I'll have one later. Most of the people who know me, watch my videos, and see my photography over on Instagram, they know my pictures are really sharp. I try to do my best at showing you what these figures really look like, and I think I do a good job at it. I don't hear too many complaints. I used to say all the time in my videos, so I used to get some people used to bitch me out about that every now and again. But anyway, I know we've been waiting for this figure for a while. I love Alien, I love the franchise, I love the series, I even like the new films, and I know some people are going to burn me for that, but I do like Prometheus, and I do like the sequel to it as well. Ridley Scott is telling a different story. That's a conversation for another time. I think a lot of people were expecting something different, maybe more like Aliens-ish, and it's not quite there yet. But I actually enjoyed it. I appreciate the story. But anyway, the figures came out, I think, like 2 or 3 days ago. I know we've been waiting a while. I got delayed quite a bit. I've been active the most probably right now in the Ghostbusters forum, and there's some folks they were actually running some bets on which figure would drop first. People were saying that Ghostbusters might drop before Ripley, and vice versa. So it was funny when this figure dropped. I forget who it was that won that bet, who said it was Ripley would come out first. I can't remember who it was now, but congrats to you, because you definitely won. So anyway, but my first impressions out of the box, I really like this figure. I like the accessories, the cat, the infamous cat, right? I'll show you that in the accessories. It's not as bad as some of the other pictures that I've seen. It's a little bit better. It's not as it could be a lot better, but it is what it is. It's a fucking 1/6 scale cat. So that's not exactly Hot Toys' strong suit when it comes to sculpting animals. So I was going to talk about the sculpt a little bit, but you know what? I'll just get to it, show you the head sculpt, and then spin it around, rotate it around rather, and then I'll get to the accessories, show you some other poses. I had a request from A-Dev over on Sideshow Freaks to do some height comparisons as far as some other female figures. I think I'll throw it up against the Jin Urso, and I think I'll throw it up, what else? What the hell else do I have that I was going to put up next to it? Jin, and I'll put it up to the Harley Quinn. I do have the first version of Scarlet Witch, but I have her in a pose right now that it took me a while to get her in, and it'll just be a pain in the ass to repose her again. Plus her knees are bent too, so it's not going to work. Right now I have Harley and I have Jin in pretty much straight up stand-up poses, museum poses, so I can do a better height comparison with those. So I'll knock that out for you guys. So anyway, let's get to it and rock this out. Alright, so here's a close-up of the headshot, and that's the sculpt, so soak that in for a second. Is it 100%? No, it's not. Nothing is 100%. Did the sculpt soften from production? Yes, I think it's pretty much the same sculpt. It just softened from production. I think most of us who are veterans in this hobby now, we know that it's always going to soften, you're going to lose some detail. So it kind of is what it is, guys. If I were to have to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it about an 8.5, maybe a 9. Again, it's in the eye of the beholder. That's for me. The minimum I would give it is probably an 8.5. It's there enough for me. Her likeness is there. Could they tweak the lips a little bit better? The nose, maybe. Yeah. But for me, I'm happy with it, because there's no guarantee that we're going to get that power loader Ripley from Aliens. So from what I understand, I think I don't know if it was Budget Stark, who's also goes by his real name is Anthony. He's over in a couple of the Facebook groups, and I don't know if I don't know if he did a video or if I saw him comment on it, but he had said there was a low pre-order amount for the as far as the pre-orders that they got. It came in low, basically. So the rate wasn't too high for people coming in that were looking for this figure, especially in Hong Kong. But I know a lot of us in America have been waiting for this figure for a while. So he had said, you could pretty much, the entire batch on day one was available. no one had to wait. There was no batch 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. If you pre-ordered it, you were able to walk into Secret Base and pick it up right then and there. So that's great. This is the first Ripley figure we have, and if they come out with an Aliens 2, with an Aliens, a fucking man, I can't talk today for some reason. I've had a lot of shit going on. But anyway, if they do come out with an Aliens Ripley, you can basically count on I'm going to keep both. I'm definitely going to get that one, and I'm going to keep this one as well. I mean, to have part 1 and part 2, you know, I know part 2, people think that's their definitive look. I've seen a lot of opinions on that. Well, this was the first film, guys, so for me, this is a mainstay. I have to have this. It's a critical figure for me to have, especially as an Alien fan. So I like it. I highly doubt, you know, Hot Toys is going to put out another rendition of this with a better sculpt. I'm sure there'll be some custom folks out there that are going to maybe do a repaint, maybe tweak the sculpt a little bit. And then you're going to have to go that route. That's most likely, if you're one of those people that really don't like the head sculpt, you're going to probably have to wait for someone to do a custom from scratch, or send it away to mod it, or if you can do it yourself, go for it. I know some people didn't like don't like the sculpted hair. They like the rooted version, and that rooted version did look good. I think this still looks good for the most part. You know, some figures work better. You know, just like with this figure, I think the sculpted hair still works. Make sure you pick the head up when you're turning the neck. That's one of the warnings. Well, just while I'm talking about it and thinking about that now, I'll mention it. Just make sure you tilt the chin up and then rotate the head. So, you know, there might be some issues with where the hair falls if you're trying to do certain poses on the shirt. So, you know, just keep that in mind. But overall, I'm happy with the sculpt, guys. I know some people aren't. They may cancel their pre-orders. But since this was such a low pre-order for Hot Toys, the second version, man, from Aliens, it might not come. You know, they might not put the effort into it. So, you know, I would grab it. You know, my advice would be to grab it while you can. I mean, you might see another version of this character in 50 years. Most of us might be dead or out of the hobby by then, but I really don't see them doing a second version of this. So it's basically what you have to decide. You know, you have to decide for yourself. Do you want this version? Do you want the Ripley from Aliens, or do you want the one from Alien? You know, which one? You know, if you can't afford it, there might be financial factors in it. You know, just bear in mind you may not get that Aliens Ripley. So, you know, just keep that in mind, guys. So I'm going to hit the button on this thing and let it rotate around. I think you guys have absorbed the face of that sculpt long enough. And this will give you a 360 pan view of it, basically. And you can essentially make your own judgments of how she looks from the angles going around, if it still looks like her. I think the likeness, in my opinion, still catches Sigourney Weaver enough. Again, this is my opinion. You know, this is not a blanket statement, doesn't go for everybody. I think that it captures the likeness enough for her from the right and left side portrait shots. So some people might not agree with that. You know, it is what it is. Again, it's your money. You buy what you want. If you don't like it, you don't buy it. That's all. You know, don't trash it. You know, don't call other people fucking stupid because they wanted to pick it up. You know, it's just move along, man. Keep scrolling. You know, that's how it works. So I'll let that go around one more time for you guys. Get a second look, even though you could probably just rewind and check it out that way. I'll just run my mouth a little bit longer. But yeah. What can I talk about? The accessories I'll show you separately as well. But I think the accessories are pretty good. I don't know. I think I might have mentioned the cat. I don't know if I mentioned it yet. The cat's okay. It could be a little bit better, but for 1/6 scale animals, you know, that's not, again, it's not Hot Toys' cup of tea. So, all right, so that's another rotation for you, and now I'm going to pan the figure up and down as it spins as well, and give you that dynamic too. We'll start with the base first as it turns. Okay, as you can see, I have one of the accessories out already. I'm going to put them all out for you. And you'll get to see the wonderful cat, which I know everybody's can't wait. But Bo Shrek was just commenting that this is actually a reuse. I didn't know that. that it was a reuse from one of the big chaps. I don't have any of the Xenomorph figures. For some reason, there's something about them. I just haven't pulled the trigger on grabbing one yet. So, you know, seeing this for the first time, I think the base is fantastic. You can see the detail they put on it. I don't know if it's an exact reuse. Maybe Bostrek can comment further if this is actually the paint application or the casting in some way is different. You know, I'm not going to be able to tell you that, again, because I don't have any of the Xenomorph figures that Hot Toys has put out. But I love this fucking base, man, for some reason. I think it's just cool, man. It's right off the ship, you know, which is nice. You know, so even though it's a reuse, it's not a reuse to me, I guess. So, whatever. Alright, so we'll pan up the figure as she spins around for a full frontal. I know I'm going to get some cracks for that. But yeah, the detail, the weathering comes through on the outfit pretty good. Hot Toys never really has too many problems with that, even though that's not always the case. Detail on the flamethrower is really good. That'll spin back around again. I'll give you another shot of that. But as you can see, the weathering is coming through on the video. At least to me, that's what I'm seeing. So if it's not, I'm sorry, but it looks like it's coming through for me. So I hope you're able to see it. Good detail on the patch. Good patchwork, as they say. And as she comes around, take a look at the front of the outfit again. I'm happy with it, guys. So again, the detail on everything encompassing the figure, essentially, I'm a fan of. I would definitely give it almost a 10 as far as what they did on the outfit and the accessories, minus the cat. So all right, so that's the pan up and down. Hopefully you got what you needed from that as far as the detail. Overall detail on the figure and the outfit, you know, so on. So the next thing I'll probably do, I'll hit the accessories, and then I'll show you some poses. And then I guess, I'll do the height comparisons. Almost forgot about that. And then that'll be it, guys. Close out with some comments, pros and cons and so forth, and we will be done. So here are the accessories, guys. You obviously get some open and closed hands. It obviously doesn't come with a 1/6 scale piece of wood, but I need something so they could actually stand up and see them. The detail on it's pretty good. You know, decent paint application. You know, Hot Toys has never had any trouble with that. Awesome detail on the tracking device. I'm actually going to turn that around so you actually get to see the other side too. And everyone's favorite 1/6 scale, the carrier case there, obviously, and everyone's the best part of this figure, right? This 1/6 scale sexy beast Jonesy. So it's all right. It's better than what they had in the prototype, you know, obviously. So, you know, whatever. Like Budget Stark said, I think in his video, or I don't even know if he did a video, or in one of the Facebook groups, Anthony was saying, you know, realistically, who's going to be posing the cat in her friggin' hand anyway? I mean, if it had rooted hair, which would take a lot of time, it might look better. It probably would look a lot better, actually, but I couldn't even imagine the painstaking process that would take. I'd probably want to put a fucking gun to my head. But hey, if you don't want the cat, you don't have to do the cat. You don't have to keep the cat. Put it in a carrier, or this is what you can do. You know, this cat, you know, here. You can always do this. Fuck the cat. Fuck this cat. You see this cat right here? Fuck him. Gone. And now he's gone. So if you don't like it, it is what it is, man. You don't have to throw him across the room like I just did, but I know there's a lot of hate out there for that cat. All right, so anyway, those are the accessories. I think they've spun around long enough. The carrier case, the carrier obviously opens, as you can see. They demonstrated that in the prototype pics as well. So let's do some poses real quick, and then if I have some time, maybe do a brief articulation demo. I normally don't do articulation, but fuck it, maybe. Why not? I've got a little bit more time today than I normally would, and after that, we'll do the height comparisons and then close out some final comments and I guess what I think, and that'll be it. So let me go find Jonesy, because I actually have no idea where he landed. All right. Alright guys, and here's the pose. I really like this pose. I really dig it. I might actually keep her in this pose, to tell you the truth. I think I had said I was going to do a couple poses. Honestly, I'm just going to do this one. This isn't a Spider-Man figure. You're not going to be doing splits and stuff like that and putting her in some crazy dynamic flips and somersaults and crazy action poses. So this is good enough for now. I'm going to show you some articulation after this. And honestly, man, I really like this pose. I know I already said that, but I really do. I'm digging this pose. So I'll let that rotate around again one more time. I think I'm going to take a shot of this too. Put it up on my Instagram. I'll put it up in Freaks as well, and some of the Facebook groups and whatnot. So I really like this figure, and this pose for me really brings it to life. It's definitely sick. So, all right, I'll go through the articulation with you real quick. Even though it's again not going to be a crazy figure you're going to be going that nuts with, but I'll do it for you anyway, and then we'll do the height comparisons. Okay guys, so I'm going to do an articulation demo for you. You're going to see me in this shot briefly. So believe it or not, your articulation is actually really good with this figure. Yeah, I'm wearing a Ghostbusters shirt. I know some of you guys probably look, some of the guys from the Ghostbusters thread in Sideshow Freaks are like, hey. But anyway, yeah, I've been wearing this shirt since January, waiting for Blitzway to come out with their Ghostbusters. So, no, I really haven't. I'm not that big of a dirtball. So anyway, articulation, right? All right, arms. You get more than a 90-degree bend on the elbow. It's good. The joints are pretty loose, which is really good. You get going from the side. Move that out of the way. Go up about that much without too much pressure. That much. So, believe it or not, you actually get more going backwards. Yeah, but I'm not advising to do anything too crazy. You get a little bit of hip rotation, nothing too crazy, so be careful with that. Leg rotation, movement is really good actually. Look at that. You could actually probably get her into a sitting position. So that's pretty darn good. And then going back this way, you know, same thing like that. That might have been the same leg actually. So there. If you wanted her to sit and do that, so it's pretty sweet. Head is pretty good. Goes up about that far. Goes down to about right there. Again, the back of the hair is going to restrict you right there, obviously. Neck about right like that, and you get about that going to the left. So again, you know, when you're turning the neck, give this warning on lots of Hot Toys figures. Make sure you have the head tilted up and then turn, so on and so forth. So that is the articulation demo. Okay, so here's a side-by-side height comparison with some Hot Toys figures. We've got the Hot Toys Jen Erso, Hot Toys Ellen Ripley, obviously, and the Hot Toys Harley Quinn. So, as you can see, Harley Quinn's obviously going to be taller. She's got stiletto boots on. I would take them off, but obviously they're pegs, so I wouldn't have anything to stand her in unless I wanted to put feet on her, and then that would change it just based on the kind of feet that I put on her. So these are the only females that I have. I do have the Scarlet Witch, but she also has boots on as well, which would also buff up the height somewhat. So that would actually skew it anyway. And but anyway, this is where it stands. It seems, obviously Jen Erso is the shorter one, which is pretty accurate. It's how she should be. Sigourney Weaver is definitely taller than her, which is pretty movie accurate, because Sigourney Weaver, I don't think she's a munchkin. And next to Harley Quinn, without the boots, her and Harley could possibly be the same size. Or maybe Harley would be a little shorter, not sure. Ellen is very light figure compared to the Hot Toys Harley Quinn. Harley is very heavy compared to Ellen. Ellen and Jen probably weigh about the same amount, interestingly enough. So anyway, that's about it. So that's your height comparison. I hope I gave you, Dev, a good delineation of what you needed to see, I guess. And anyone else, if you have any comments, concerns, you know, feel free to hit me in the comments, in the groups, Sideshow Freaks, wherever you want, and I will try to get back to you. So my overall rating of this figure, man, out of a 10, for me, I like it. I give it about a 9.5 overall. Sculpt's an 8.5 to a 9 for me. And I give, again, overall figure a 9.5 with everything you get. Maybe a 9, really. Maybe a 9 is more realistic, because the cat does suck. That cat, right? So, pros, for me, generally good figure. I like it. Sculpt is good for me. The sculpted hair is fine. Articulation is really, really good. The accessories are good. Maybe a 1/6 scale face hugger would have been cool. You know, it's nice to have that. I've been trying to get one lately. I have a 1/12 scale one, but I'm dying to get a 1/6 scale, and I know they sell them in a few spots, but I'm lazy, and I would have been nice for them to just give you one in this set, but that's all right though. The cons, obviously, the Sculpt's not 100% on. Some people wanted the rooted hair, didn't give you that. So, and that's really about it, honestly. At least cons for me, anyway. And again, you know, it would have been nice to have maybe another accessory like the face hugger or something like that. So that's really about it. Again, if you have any comments, concerns, hit me up. And check out my Instagram again. I am Toys. I'll have more shots up on my Instagram page probably in the next couple hours or at the end of the night or tomorrow or something like that. Just you know, check every once in a while. You know, I usually post them in the groups too. And if you like the video, of course, you know, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you don't like it, go ahead and dislike it. It's all right. It all counts as positive engagement, folks, especially on YouTube. So, all right, guys, deuces. Hope you enjoyed the review. Peace.